Well, it is the start of the school year, and for many students, we're filling you in on some of the biggest changes happening in Central Texas schools. Good morning, everybody. I'm Rob Evans, and with back-to-school shopping behind us, students are back in the classroom. Teachers are as well, but there are a lot of new changes coming to schools this year we think you should know about. From improved safety measures to some pretty cool technology, a lot of new additions. Here's KVUE's Eric Pointer with what drivers need to know as students head back to class.
Good morning, everyone.
Whether they walk or ride, students are on their way back to school.
She'll be walking every day. We'll be here every morning.
And parents have a message.
Just to please drive safe. Please pay attention to the little ones as they're crossing the street.
Just stay vigilant. Slow down. I mean, you're going to get to your destination. If you got to leave early just to account for the extra time, please do that.
TxDOT recommends drivers be aware of new traffic patterns, stop and yield the right-of-way to students crossing the streets, obey school zone speed limits, and be on the lookout.
Kids, I mean, they do things at a split second, and we have to prepare for the split second decisions that they do make since we are the adults.
Going slower through a school zone may take a bit longer, but it's also a way to ensure families get longer time with their students.
Because we got our little ones here. We love them. We want, them to come back to school for another day, and it's important for you.
That was Eric Pointer. Now, several districts have struggled over the years when it comes to hiring and retaining bus drivers. But districts, including Lake Travis ISD, say it's doing what it can to make sure your kids can get to and from school, and most importantly, get them there safely. KVUE's Kelsey Sanchez has the story.
So I'm not used to mornings.
At Lake Travis ISD, these hallways are bustling, but not with students or teachers. This group is getting ready to pick up their keys.
That should be in spot like 96.
And head out to do their part for the district. Ray Perea has been taking kids to and from school for 3 years.
It's really rewarding, actually.
At first, it was a job he didn't think would be the right fit, but then he fell in love with it.
You get to really get to know the parents and just how well they connect with their kids and how much they love them.
And it's not just about connection, it's about safety inside the bus.
So it's very important to constantly be looking in the mirror.
And safety on the road.
I think people seem to forget that we have precious cargo.
While Ray does his part to secure the kids, Lake Travis ISD keeps working to secure more drivers. The district is dealing with a shortage. But this year, District's Director of Transportation, Paula Miller, says they're doing better.
We've just been able to put some more students on the bus and get more students to and from school this year than we were able to last year.
The major factor is pay, which increased from $20.40 in the 2020 to 2021 school year to $25.51 this school year.
There can always be more pay. I mean, the inflation of everything happening right now, especially in Austin, it's hard to keep up. So, yes. The answer is yes.
And getting more people behind the wheel.
Word of mouth going out and saying that, hey, it's not so bad. Come on and join. And if, what do you have to lose?
Which Miller does herself if she has to.
I keep all of my license current as well because you never know when I might have to go jump on a bus and help out.
Help that is always needed for a district.
Because a lot of people see it as just driving a bus, moving around a bunch of kids. There's just so much more involved.
Doing their best to keep getting kids to and from school. At Lake Travis, Kelsey Sanchez, KVUE News.
And with the new school year comes changes to cell phone rules for some students in Lake Travis ISD. The new rule requires students in pre-K through 8th grade who have either a cell phone or a smartwatch to turn them off and have them out of sight for the entire school day. So far, Lake Travis ISD superintendent says he has seen an overall positive response from families.
And if they're engaged in their phone, they're losing out on instruction in the classroom, they're losing out on engagement in the classroom, and they're also losing out on the social aspect of education because a lot of our kids come to school for that social experience, getting to meet friends, how to interact with peers, how to interact with teammates. And so the cell phone really eliminates a lot of that. And kids have so much screen time now compared to 15, 20 years ago.
Now, each campus in the district will have its own protocol for how they enforce that policy. And district leaders at Hayes CISD are putting in new effort for a new initiative to get students to wear seat belts while on the school bus. It comes after a deadly crash last year involving a Hayes CISD school bus that was returning from a field trip. This school year, the district says every bus a child rides will have seat belts on it.
We still don't know whether or not a seatbelt would have made a difference, but our community said we want seatbelts on all of our buses. That was in the works, but we accelerated at the end of last year the process so that we could get them at the soonest possible moment.
The buses are also equipped with a new smart text system, allowing bus drivers to pass notes along to the school if they notice that anything needs to be addressed. Speaking of new technology, Round Rock ISD is rolling out new smart tags for students, so they allow moms and dads to see when their kids get on the bus and off the bus in real time. The goal is to make sure that your kid gets on and off the right stop, right? Bus drivers will be given a card to swipe when they get on and off the bus, and then parents can download the Smart Tag Parent app to keep up with their kids' commute. And it's the first year for Eanes ISD's new police force, and officers have new squad cars, but, well, it's Eanes ISD, right? Not going to be the ones you might normally expect. The district opted for a deal with Tesla and now has multiple Tesla police cruisers. KVUE's Adam Bennett spoke with officers about the new squad cars and what the formation of this police force means for the district.
Vanessa Bremner protected Austin's streets for 23 years. Now, the retired APD officer is protecting its campuses.
The most important part of it is the children.
In a new ride.
It's a little bit different. I've never driven an electric car before.
And a new role.
My husband's like, "You're never going to retire now, are you?" And I said, "Nope."
Bremner is assigned to an elementary school in Eanes ISD.
Hanging out with kids, helping them get out of their cars, and high-fiving and hugs.
She's one of the officers commissioned in March for the district's first ever police department after it got state approval.
Yeah, it's quite a process.
Chief Matthew Greer says cost, control, and House Bill 3 led the school board in June of 2023 to vote to start up its own police force. HB 3 requires an armed officer on each Texas campus. State lawmakers passed it after the Uvalde mass shooting.
And we don't want to be one more in that long line of news stories. We want to do everything we can to protect our students and our staff.
Previously, Eanes ISD employed 2 school resource officers from the Travis County Sheriff's Office and 6 security staff members. That cost nearly $1 million a year. Their new police force has 11 full-time armed officers and 1 civilian employee. That costs about $1.5 million per year. 2 officers are assigned to Westlake High School, along with 1 officer to each middle and elementary school campus. Shortly after the vote, some parents praised the idea.
We've got to do more to keep our kids safe in school.
While others expressed concern during a town hall meeting.
Typically, schools and police forces are not the same kind of organizations to run.
Since then, officers say they've gotten overwhelming support.
We don't participate in any discipline to any students, any administrative duties, anything like that.
The people that we've been able to recruit are so amazing. They're all people that I know and that I've worked with in the past, and their reputations precede them.
Most Eanes ISD officers are retired from APD. All have extensive law enforcement experience.
So obviously physical security of the campus is sort of number one priority. Being present and being a deterrence. A lot of time just building relationships with kids and staff members.
Officers also check building security, handle traffic control, and run safety drills. This summer, they've spent weeks training themselves and staff, ready for the start of a new school year. And for some officers,
I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm meant to be doing in this life.
A new purpose. Adam Bennett, KVUE News.
3, 2, 1.
Well, Del Valle ISD opened its new early college high school. The facility is for students seeking careers in manufacturing, engineering, and computer science. District leaders say it's about shaping the future of Del Valle.
This is the building which is a building of our future, and it prepares students for specific careers that are aligned with the needs of our community. It is designed to be a flexible space which is also future ready, allowing learning for future career paths that we may not even know about yet.
Well, students can earn an associate's degree or college credit through that school's coursework. And leaders with Elgin ISD recently celebrated the opening of the district's 4th elementary school. It's called Harvest Ridge Elementary. It's on County Line Road near Elgin High School. It's one of the fastest growing areas in Central Texas. Elgin already has a 5th elementary school in the works. It'll be called Trinity Ranch Elementary. That'll be south of US 290, just off Gristmill Lane. Work began on that school back in April. It should open next year. And a school using artificial intelligence to teach students just opened a new campus, bringing another tool to the classroom: video games. Oh yeah, your kids are all excited about this. KVUE's Darynisha Heron takes us inside Alpha School's newest Austin facility.
Can you imagine starting the first part of your school day with only 2 hours of learning on the computer, and the rest of the day is focused on playing video games? Well, that's exactly what students get to do here at Next Gen Academy in Austin.
Quick show of hands, everyone's got the game open?
Okay, so you have the instructions.
Yes.
Virtual reality headsets on, manuals in hand. These students have 5 minutes to defuse a virtual bomb.
Tell me what to do. I'm thinking. Do the C with a line and 2 eyes.
11-year-old Lucas Vega.
That was right.
And 13-year-old Bennett Morris are getting a lesson on communicating under pressure. This is what most of the school day looks like for the 5th through 8th graders at Next Gen Academy, also known as Esports Academy.
We're using esports and gaming as the motivator to help drive kids towards what they want to do and accomplish.
Both sides is the campus director.
We base our workshops around the things that our students love. So if our kids love Fortnite, then we're going to build a workshop around Fortnite, teaching them communication or leadership, strategic planning.
Students do gaming workshops for 4 hours. The other 2 hours are dedicated to learning core subjects at their own pace through an AI tutor online. There are no teachers. What they call coaches or guides help them along the way.
It makes me excited because it's more fast-paced. I can go at my own speed.
The private school just opened this semester. Right now, it's a small group of 8 students. The school says their students who went through a similar program learned 4.6 times faster than public school students.
I am a believer that our current education system, the greater public system, is a broken system.
Michael Morris is Bennett's dad, who saw how gaming at home was already improving his life skills.
He was writing proposals in some of the games that he was interacting with, and I was really impressed.
Even though Bennett's gaming skills are impressive, he wants to use them in a different way.
When I grow up, I want to be a law enforcement officer.
So if a student wants to go into being a professional gamer, our goal is to give them those tools to become that professional gamer. If they want to leave our program and become an engineer, we want to set them up with those tools to leave our program and become an engineer.
In September, they plan to move to their permanent location in North Austin, where they'll have a professional esports arena. Oh, and I cannot let you go without showing you the outcome of the game. No one disabled the bomb, but hey, that means there's more room to grow and learn. In downtown Austin, Darynisha Heron, KVUE News.
We'll give them a C- for effort, at least. All right, Darynisha, thank you. Well, Austin ISD Board of Trustee members recently voted to put a voter-approved tax rate election on the November ballot. But we've learned taxpayers' money here in Central Texas doesn't always come back to your local school district. In fact, it's not even close. I recently sat down with district leaders to learn more about how the state's recapture program is failing Austin ISD. In school districts across Texas, there's a math problem that just doesn't add up.
It's frustrating to community members. I get it.
Missy Bender works at the Texas School Coalition, a nonprofit working to make the math make sense. The problem, she says, is recapture, a program that started 30 years ago.
The state was looking for money.
Recapture says that if a district brings in too much property tax, they're considered property wealthy and can't keep all the taxes they collect.
The school district then has to essentially write a check to the state of Texas.
That check replaces what the state would otherwise have to pay for education.
Is that fair?
And the list of so-called property wealthy districts has ballooned over the years. It is now 349 districts, paying a staggering amount, $5 billion.
$5 billion collectively.
In Central Texas, those paying include Round Rock, Eanes, Lake Travis, and the biggest check writer of all, Austin ISD.
I don't think anyone ever intended that this property wealth system would become such a big portion of the overall funding system.
Jacob Reach is Austin ISD's expert on recapture, a program that some might call unreal.
Yeah, well, our deficit is very real.
The district that gave the state $900 million last year, 3 times more than any other district, now has a choice.
The $119 million deficit.
Either cut staff and services or do what they're doing this week, asking voters for a tax increase. Now, this tax increase would bring in more than $170 million, but, well, I hope you're sitting down for this.
A majority of that would be recaptured through the system.
Most of it will never see Central Texas.
130 million of it would go to the state.
Unreal.
So I certainly understand that it is difficult, but it is the only mechanism that a school district has.
More taxes or more cuts. So you can see where parents, moms and dads would be frustrated, right?
Absolutely. I'm one of those.
Or maybe those who assigned this math problem can solve it.
One of the representatives here.
Bender says, speak up, call your state representative and state senator.
You do not have to be the expert on policy. Just tell the office how you feel about it.
Well, new schools aren't the only changes we are seeing this school year. Other districts like Pflugerville ISD are also seeing a change in faces. The first day of school was August 13th, but it was also the first day for the district's new superintendent, Dr. Quentin Shepard. The doctor recently sat down with Victoria ISD in southeast Texas. That's where he was last. He says his first step will be to listen to the people in the district, and for the next 100 days, plans to visit all 33 schools. Dr. Shepard says he wants to speak with parents, teachers, and students about what they love and what they need to work on.
We will use those findings and directions from our community, literally their voices, to develop our strategic plan about where we go forward. It is the ultimate in community ownership, and I'm super excited about that.
Dr. Shepard says they are pushing forward with the 2022 bond that they passed to make housing more affordable for teachers. He also says part of the next 100 days will include recruiting and retaining teachers. And, you know, teaching students is hard work, right? And retaining those qualified teachers is a big problem that we have seen across districts in Central Texas. KVUE recently sat down with Superintendent of Manor ISD about why they feel it's so important teachers be given days off to care for their mental health.
Long before the first bell rings, preparations are underway, getting ready for this year's students. While Manor New Tech Middle School gets last-minute renovations, teachers like Robin Farlow,
the way that the classroom is set up,
are hard at work.
Is extremely important for scholars. We're not only our students' teachers, we're their role models, we're their cheerleaders, we're their mentors, we're their coaches, we're their nurses, all before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Just like they set up their classrooms, teachers also have to set themselves up for success during the school year.
If you're not of a healthy mindset, you know, a healthy disposition, you know, in all the ways that define a human, you can't really be a good teacher. It's difficult.
Now, the district is giving all staff members 2 new mental health days each.
People can really get down on themselves, and I think this is a way that Board of Trustees and myself can tell our staff that we care.
Superintendent Dr. Robert Swarmani says that they aren't regular days off, but there to do what they need to reset and recharge.
I think it's important because people don't realize that teachers will give it their all every day, even when they are really needing to take some time just to take care of themselves.
If you're going to be your best self and you want to show up and give 100% every day, it starts with inside.
The hope is it'll put them in the best position to be ready, whatever the kids bring this school year. In Manor, Eric Pointer, KVUE News.
And Austin ISD Superintendent Matias Segura was on hand greeting students for the first day of school. Like Manor, Austin is facing several issues related to teacher retention. KVUE's Yvonne Nava sat down with him to talk about the challenges that continue to impact growth, as well as the importance of creating some much needed stability within the district.
Go to page 29.
29.
Yeah.
I haven't opened this page in forever. Like, this is crazy.
Matias Segura has come a long way since his days at Bowie High School.
This student here, this getting lots of trouble. Had my hair dyed, had it super long.
Never did he think, 25 years later,
vote is unanimous.
He'd be in charge of the entire Austin Independent School District.
My mom was a teacher for 41 years in Austin ISD, and so I remember her working late nights, lesson plans all over the floor, and that drives a lot of kind of who I am. I get to hand you a diploma later this year.
Those memories are ingrained in Segura as he gets ready to lead AISD into a new era.
Happy start of the school year.
Despite declining attendance in the past, Segura says the district will begin the school year with 73,000 students, the same as last year.
Who is the next table?
Now, as for the educators teaching those students,
Right now, we're 96.5% staffed. We haven't been at this level at this point in the year since 2015. You know, we talk about attrition at Title I schools and non-Title I schools. Right now, the difference between those is less than 1%, where 2 years ago it was 10 or 12% difference.
teacher compensation remains a hot-button topic that Segura is well aware of. Last fiscal year, the district handed out 7% raises across the board. This year, they're working on a compensation package that'll need the support of voters.
We're very competitive early on, 0 through 5 years. What is challenging for us is the 5, 10, 15, 20 years, like further on. And those are the educators that understand our system. They built relationships with the community. We want them to stay with Austin ISD, not go somewhere else, because that transition is costly.
And when it comes to the cost of education, the price tag is only getting steeper.
The state hasn't funded education in the way that it has in years past. To not support the mission of public education in a meaningful way over the last legislative sessions has been challenging and disheartening. I spent a lot of time in the athletics wing.
Regardless, the district continues to make strides, filling 200 special education positions over the last year and a half to help students with disabilities.
Your teachers love you, your principal loves you.
And as Segura embarks on his new role, he's a firm believer in the old adage that it takes a village, and everyone must be aligned in one direction for students to reach their potential.
I made some decisions that my parents weren't happy with.
Have a great year.
A couple times got close to not even graduating, some things that I did. But time and time again, counselors, our principal, my parents, coaches, I ran track, came together, supported me, got me across the finish line. So I think about that all the time.
In Southwest Austin, Yvonne Nava, KVUE News.
Kids, we all make mistakes, all right? It's not what happens to you, it's how you deal with it. That's just proof right there. Yvonne, thank you. Round Rock ISD will have more than 47,000 students in K through 12 this school year. As one of the fastest growing districts in the area, the increase in enrollment comes with some growing pains. KVUE's Brian Mays sat down to talk with the superintendent about his motivation to continue making the district better.
Round Rock ISD is a destination district, right? And what I challenge my team and our staff every day is we want this year to be even better than the year before.
Dr. Azaiz was a secondary level teacher when he was in the classroom, but he understands the importance of starting younger students out on the right path. That's a big reason Round Rock ISD is expanding its pre-kindergarten program this school year for 4-year-olds and for 3-year-olds.
Last year was our first year offering full day pre-K3. We offered that. We started with 5 elementary campuses last year. This year we're expanding that to 9, almost doubling that, right? If we do that right, and the students, by the time they get to 3rd grade, they're reading on or above grade by 3rd grade, we're pretty much going to set that student for success for the rest of their life.
Like every district in every city, Round Rock teachers will have to navigate changing technology, specifically artificial intelligence. Dr. Azaiz sees AI as an opportunity.
Like people are saying, oh, AI is coming for your job, so we may have now your job. And so, maybe we should not have AI. And I think what we need to be saying is, you won't have a job if you don't know AI, meaning you need to be better at AI so you can have a job. We want to make sure our students are prepared for tomorrow's job, not just today's job. And tomorrow's job is going to have AI everywhere.
Hiring and retaining good teachers is a big hurdle for a lot of school districts, especially with the challenges that come along with state funding. Those challenges force district leaders to get creative when trying to pay the bills. Round Rock ISD was able to do something a lot of districts couldn't do this past summer. Balance the budget. It wasn't easy, and it meant millions of dollars in cuts.
We didn't want to cut, I think, roughly over $20 million, right, from different things. We didn't have a choice, right? We pretty much were forced to do it.
The basic allotment for each student from the state has not gone up since 2019. Round Rock staff that saw a 5% raise 2 years ago and a 6% raise last year won't see those kinds of raises this year. So Dr. Azaiz and the school board have come up with different perks.
One of the things we've done, for example, for this year is we added 2 paid days to our teachers. We're giving them a day in the spring and a day in the fall. We call them U days, just days for them.
So what makes for a successful school year for Dr. Azaiz?
When you get the students, you got them when they were like 3, 4, whatever, 5 years old, and you train them, you teach them, you coach them, whatever. That is the gold medal. When you see that the same students now walking the stage and prepare to do whatever they want to do next, whether they want to go to a college or they want to start a career or go serve in the military. To me, that's success.
And that's going to do it for now. We want to give a huge thank you to all the area superintendents who gave their time leading up to the start of this school year. We know they were very busy. You can find more information on these stories and several others by heading to our website, kvue.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope you have a great school year, everybody.